Press releases for SEO. I get a lot of questions about this. And press releases are a great shortcut, basically. So people are concerned because obviously they want good news links from news sites, but at the same time, press releases seem, for one thing, a bit easy, and also most of the links are no follow. Is there any actual real benefit? Well, if you do it the right way, then I can tell you from experience, there's lots of benefits to a press release. For one thing, it's basically about sheer volume alone. So for a few $100s for a quality distribution, you can normally get about 500 referring domains. And now the thing about this is, obviously, they're not going to be the best quality domains in the world, but they tend to be very high authority. They are trusted news sites. Yes, they're no follow, but there's still some power there. And crucially, you get some of the really big hitters like Global Newswire, Bloomberg, Yahoo Finance, and if nothing else, these are just really nice to have for your brand. So you're building trust both with Google and your consumers there. Obviously, they make great logos for your homepage, but fundamentally, it's about volume and power. So again, this is one of those early link building tactics where you might not have a big budget for links yet, or you might want to actually build up your link profile without appearing suspicious. Even if you had all the budget in the world, if you just launch your site, you don't want to be building 30 links a month overnight. High quality editorial links like my agency provides, because Google will see that and think, what on earth is going on here? That's very suspicious. Whereas if you start off, I've done a video on citations, which are basically listings in local business directories. You've got your social profiles, and then you have a press release. What's Google going to say? You're just a legit business starting a business. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's fine. So you can get these 500 referring domains right out the gate without any problem. Some people even recommend do a press release before you launch, because that way Google can see the anticipation building. And so when your site launches, you're already kind of ahead of the game. Google's already expecting it. It saw the information that this thing was coming, and now it's here. So you're legit. But press releases, it's quite a shady world again, because you probably know you could go onto Fiverr and pay $100 or something like that and be featured on MarketWatch. And press releases are one of these things where there's a full spectrum of quality that you actually get. So MarketWatch is a very basic one, and you can get a perfectly reasonable PR distribution for $70 or so. But it's not going to have any of the premium news outlets, and that can have a significant impact. For one thing, you do want those logos on your homepage, but also there's always this question about basically outbound links. So a website that links out to many millions of websites, even if it's like a DR 8090 site, if it's linking out to millions of websites, that power is being really thinly distributed. Whereas if it's still a high DR site, but it's not linking out to that many websites, then you get more of that power funneled into your site. So what that basically means is there's a big benefit to going where other people haven't been. So you can get the cheap PR distribution, but everyone else is going to be piling in on that same service, which means a site like MarketWatch, let's have a look. So if we look at a site like apnews.com, they're linking out to 50,000 websites, and it's just a PR site, so of course it does. So when you're looking at your distribution, basically you want variety, because obviously the way SEO works is you want to link from every domain, and there's not much value to doubling up those domains, basically. So it's all about going with a distribution that's got the biggest inventory, so you can get as many referring domains as possible, but also preferably these distributions which are harder to get, which haven't been abused by thousands of PRs over the years. So that's the distribution side. But now we want to look at what should the press release actually look like. Now, the difference between a standard press release and an SEO press release is traditionally, all businesses write press releases, but it tends to just be something going on. Here's an announcement. No one cares. Maybe a few business magazines will pick it up. Doesn't really happen that much. Now, for SEO benefit, remember that for any link that we're placing, we want some contextual relevance to that link, where basically, ideally, we want the referring page to have some traffic and have some rankings for our target keywords, and for the text around our link to talk about our keyword, not forgetting the link itself to be, as I've discussed before, either brand, keyword, whatever. So when you're writing your press release, it actually pays to use SEO best practices and use correlational tools. So with Supply, we provide a PR service includes guaranteed publication, Yahoo News, AP News, Market, all the classics like Market Watch, but also some really good ones like Yahoo, Global Newswire, Bloomberg. And with that, not when we write the press release, we actually use correlational tools in order to write it. So any press release, you do need to have a notable event in order to get accepted by the newswires. But that can be anything. It can be that you've just launched, or you've got a new product, you've won an award, something like that. Really not that difficult. It just has to be plausible. But then, so this was my book launch. Now, if you go down, you'll see we've actually got sections that have been basically SEO optimized for different topics. So we were talking about trying to rank for SEO for coaches and SEO speaker. So therefore, they feature prominently. So I've still got to work within the realms of an acceptable press release to get accepted by the newswire. But you can see the talks about SEO for coaches, the books about SEO for coaches, and the links also say SEO for coaches in the anchor text. The distribution look like, got the full spreadsheet here. This is for the premium side. There are also a load of websites as part of the standard distribution. This is just the premium report. So you can see we've got Yahoo Finance, Yahoo News, all the different locations as well. Then we have Bloomberg, AP News, Global Newswire, MarketWatch, TradeWire, Benzinga, Morningstar, Fox8.com, and this just goes on to all these local, regional news sites. Now, of course, none of these are particularly high quality, but through sheer volume alone, we're getting something like 500 links. There are 471 links, all talking about SEO for coaches that are contextually relevant, high DR sites. Yes, the links are no follow, but again, we're looking at volume here. So that's 400 contextually relevant links with strong anchor text, all pointing at my site. Now, if I just drop a few of these links into an Ahrefs batch analysis, you can see they're all in the DR90s, 80s, a few 70s. So these are all major news websites. So again, not great. It's just a press release. It's not great quality. It's not going to move the needle massively. But you've got a huge amount of power coming into your website at very low cost. If you think about the equivalent cost, if you were to try and manually get a couple of hundred DR80, 90 links, even no follow links, then it'd be very significant. It would be much more than the $500 to $1,000 a press release like this costs. Now, the other thing about SEO optimizing your press release is it basically works as parasite SEO, which I talk about in another video, where fundamentally you're leveraging the power of a major news website in order to actually rank for your target search term, but on that website rather than on your website. And press release is a great way to do that. Global Newswire especially seems to work very well. So they're a DR92, something like that. So this press release I didn't put too much effort on, and I've neglected it slightly, but you can see briefly it did actually rank when it was published for SEO for coaches, albeit at position 61. But again, you can do standard parasite techniques where basically you can then build links to that press release, which don't have to be great quality links, and actually push that page higher up. Plus, if you've got branded search for your brand name, then they tend to rank very well for that as well. So obviously, if someone searches your brand name, it looks really good if it's not just your name, but also your website, but a load of news publications talking about you as well. So exactly that's exactly what I have. The PR was a contributor to getting my Google Knowledge Panel. I'll talk about that in another video. But then if you scroll down here, we've got my Yahoo Finance article. So of course, any branded search, if someone's already considering buying from you and they search your name or your company and they can see you're on Yahoo Finance, that's just a little subconscious benefit there that might just push them over the line. And I think even the book Power Lever method, it's the same thing. Yep, same thing, Yahoo Finance. If we go on to Google News, there should be a load more there. Now I talk about, in my video on indexing, I mentioned about the power of Google News in getting indexed. So most websites, getting indexed in Google, as in getting Google to actually acknowledge you and add you to its directory, basically. That's a major struggle, especially for a new website. So one of the tricks to getting indexed is you can either, basically Google News gets indexed right away because Google doesn't want to be publishing out-of-date news. So if a Google News approved site makes any changes at all, those changes are indexed immediately. So there's two ways you can use that. You can either register your own website for Google News, which apparently is actually quite easy, or you can just get a link from a Google News website. So getting all these PR sites like Google News registered. So indexing is not going to be a problem. If you just launch a site and then you do a press release like this, and you get all these Google News sites linking to you, then you're going to be indexed really quickly and stick. So that's really good as well. It's all very good talking about the theory, but do press releases actually have a positive impact on SEO? And so far from my clients, my testing, it's not an absolute game changer, but it's definitely a quick win. Like I say, with a link building campaign, even our link building campaign, so minimum DR 30, lots of quality checks in place, minimum traffic of 1,000. Every link we build is really good quality. Still takes time to actually build up results. Whereas press release, it's not expensive, blast it out there, get loads of links into your website, especially if it's a new product launch, something like that. And there are definitely tangible benefits from that at very low cost. So this client, when they started with me, they had a DR6, but they also changed their domain. So effectively starting from 0 with a redirect. So with our link building campaign, we've got them up to a DR of 27 within about 6 months or so. And the traffic has increased very steadily ever since. So all going very well, climbing beautifully. So now up to 6,000 in Ahrefs, which is probably more like 8 to 10,000 in analytics, with traffic value of $1,500 per month. But we can see this bump here. Now let's dig down and I'll show you the actual page where we built the press release to. So this new product launch, it was a really good commercial keyword and actually very competitive. So high volume, that's something like a keyword difficulty of 70 or something like that. So really competitive. So that's why I advised them, let's do a press release just to get maximum power into this page. So you can see ranking for 552 keywords and actually getting some pretty decent traffic, considering it's only a DR27 site, and this is a really high competition keyword. So if we scroll down here, traffic steadily grew over time. There's been a bit of a pullback more recently, but we can see this big jump here. Now that's the time that we actually did the press release. So the press release was specifically tailored to that niche, that keyword. So it was already optimized for it and included exact match links going to that page, talking about this product. So that was the case where we did see an immediate benefit. So fairly new page, not much age in Google, very competitive, built the press release and it immediately jumped up. So if you just want to try and make a dent in a competitive niche that isn't really in your league yet, this is a good way of getting a lot of power into just a few pages on your website. Actual keywords for that page, you can see what I mean. High volume, 2,000 searches a month, slight variation, 1,900 searches per month. Keyword difficulty of 80, 70, 73. None of this is easy. But this site, that's only a DR of 26, 27, I think it was. They're at 28 and 25 for this really competitive high volume keyword. So, and the only thing we can attribute that to is the press release. Yes, we've done link building, but realistically, if you're building a few links a month to a page, you're not going to rank for this kind of keyword difficulty with a low DR site without getting a lot more power. So that power has come from the press release in this case. Now we're looking at the actual Globe Newswire page that we published for this client. And we can see for that main keyword, the 1,600 a month and a high difficulty, that page is ranking, albeit at position 90. But the point is, this is just the Globe Newswire page. We've got 500 other pages like it. These pages are actually ranking and getting traffic for the target keyword. So if you've got 500 links from high DR news sites, DR 80s, 90s, and those pages are actually ranking and talking about your target keyword, then that's a huge benefit for you for your target keyword. So to recap, decent press release, $500 to $1,000, not going to break the bank. You get 500 referring domains from really powerful news sites. Now, there's loads of benefits to that if you actually SEO optimize that press release. But then we also just get onto the human benefits, in that it looks really good to your audience if you've got those as seen in logos. So I know a lot of people do this half-heartedly, where they might have had one feature in Yahoo Finance or something like that, and they plastered that logo everywhere. I've taken that further, so all over my brand. I've got Bloomberg, Morningstar, Yahoo Finance. Some really good logos, just building trust with my audience. Of course, it's a bit of a hack because, as seen in my press release that I distributed, but it does look good, but there's some big SEO benefits as well. So hopefully that's helpful. People do ask me, do these press releases actually get picked up by actual news sources? It's possible, but generally you need to be a bit more tailored than that and think about specific publications that are more relevant to your audience and crafting a story that really fits them. Your local newspaper is not going to be interested in business doing business, basically. They always say business doing business isn't news. Whereas, business updates, you can distribute them via a premium press release provider, and you get these placements on these business news websites. So that's no problem. Great SEO benefits. If you want more actual digital PR, then there are ways about that I'll come on to shortly. So don't forget to like and subscribe. But you do have to be just a little bit smarter about it. So this is very simple. We're talking about a couple of dollars per link, and those are really good links, and they can move the needle for really powerful terms. Finally, you can do the parasite technique, where not only are you trying to rank a page that's a news site, but also you can then hit that site with all sorts of extra links. And they can be cheap, dodgy links, basically, because Google's not going to take down Yahoo Finance. So if you're building all these links to that page, that press release can actually rank higher on that page, so on Yahoo Finance, because it's already on a powerful site. You just need to get more links into the actual page so that the page ranks higher. But equally, all those links pointing at your site will therefore get more power as a result. Even though there are no follow links, if you're stacking up all this power from the links you're pointing at the press release, then the links from the press release to your site will gain more power and pass more of that equity into your site. So getting a little bit complex there, but fundamentally, if you just started a website or you've just launched, get some citations as I covered in my other video, and do a press release. Very easy way to build up a lot of link power very quickly without breaking the bank.